So my name's Danny here. I farm in partnership with my father Lamont at Drumbreddan Farm, Ardwell, Stranraer. In total we have about 1,320 acres. We farm roughly 230 acres of arable, 1,000 ewes and 360 sucklers, with all progeny finished on farm. So beef cattle are predominantly Limousin and Angus cross dairy cows. We like to keep the milk on our cows, so we keep them first cross dairy. All calves are born to Charolais mainly and some Limousin. The finishers are moved inside onto an odd lib barley ration for the last 2 months, 3 months of their life. But other than that, everything's still outside. Cattle with calves are wintered outside in stubbles. Very few inside in sheds, just baby calves that are born in October.
For your job, a lot of it's about keeping costs down, and that's why outwintering really suits us. The climate suits having cattle out. We've developed this pattern where we try to calve cows in very short periods of time, simply to allow us to put cattle into our finishing sheds, finish them quickly, get them out and have another batch of calves ready to come in behind. The idea behind that was all about cash flow. I was originally from a dairying background, and from that I realised how important cash flow was. It's great getting a monthly milk cheque, but when I left the family business in '85 and came to farm Lamont with 250 acre and a few beef cows, there was a lot of missing months when there wasn't any checks, so it really, my mind started to focus going forward as how we would get a business, and opportunities came. We're very lucky.
We run about 8 or 10 bulls to our stock cows. We tend to spend a wee bit more to get as good a quality as we can for our bulls. We are lucky in the effect that because we calve 3 times a year, a bull will go to 30 to 35 cows at a time, meaning he can sire up to 100 calves a year, as opposed to spring calving maybe just doing 30 or 40. We try to get our bulls ready for finishing at 12.5 months, 390 kilos, give or take, and heifers go through a store period, finished around 19 months at around 350 kilos. But mainly it's angled at being herd health. We need them to be as healthy as possible, because without that there is no profitability in the job.
I know the things that need to be done. We've been soil sampling for 30 years and doing everything we should to get this soil 100% performing for us, because that's where it all starts, is what we do with the soil and how we look after it. That's what starts everything. If we get it right, the grass is right, the grain's right, everything else follows onto that.
We will make roughly between 700 and 900 acres of silage a year, depending on growth. We try to make dairy quality silage, as we put very little into our calves, and we provide the cow as much as we can so that she milks for that calf, and they won't receive any hard feed until they're approximately 7 or 8 months old. We believe what we do is probably as environmentally friendly and sustainable as we possibly can be, being that we hardly buy in any feed, everything's homegrown, dung's returned to land, we soil sample a lot, and our organic matter is as high as we could possibly get it, even in fields that we've barleyed for 20 years.
One of the things really here for us about putting everything back into the soil is the carbon benefits that brings. Now we're storing colossal amounts of carbon in our soil here, and that all comes about because of the way we farm, because everything's growing here. The dung, the straw, everything goes back onto the land, but yet we'll need to find a way that farming gets credit for that, rather than everything being pointed at us for creating a carbon footprint.
So we were nominated for the AgriScot Scotch Beef Farm of the Year from a couple of sources, and after much deliberation decided that we would go forward with it, and I'm very glad that we did, just to receive the accolade, really, and a bit of recognition for what we do. Not that we do anything particularly different from anybody else, I just think it's good for the sector to recognise how hard people work within it. It was a great feeling that afternoon, just when your name gets announced that you are the winners of AgriScot's Beef Farm of the Year. It's been a great experience, and I just hope others can give a bit of thought to competing in the future, and especially if they think they're doing something that's a bit special and doing it well. Because we need to push the industry forward all the time, really, to let folks see what a good job we're actually doing.